Well, we got an orc mirror. Can you believe it? No space marines. Fucking hell, isn't it amazing? Damn it, I'm swearing in the first 60 seconds again. Sorry guys, I'm from the north of England. Not one of those posh cunts from down south. I don't know what that was awful. Just ignore me. I'm having one of those days. But we've got the coffee, so hopefully this will be decent. Absolutely a coffee fiend. I was saying the other day, if I could make love to coffee, I would make love to her daily. But I'd take my sweet time, and I would be very affectionate. Big fan, big fan. Anyway, we got Pax, who maybe is as big of a fan of the war boss as I am coffee. I don't know. I know Pax feels similarly as I do to coffee about the Chaos Lord, so maybe the war boss would be similar. I mean, if you look at them, they look quite similar. Oh, we've got a scrap. We've got a scrap between the lads. Sluggers versus sluggers, and oh, that's unlucky. Yikes, yikes. Yep, that's a ... moment. Yeah, that's rough. So, Ovarmind here, who I don't actually know who this player is, to be honest, but he wanted to win that fight, so he was upgrading the burners, because the burners gives you, I don't know, what is it, 15%, 20% extra HP, something like that, to all your boys, but he got it too late, and these sluggers, I don't know, they won even though they didn't get a special, actually. Damn it, instead of talking about the thick war boss, I should have been watching that fight. But melee fights in a mirror in Dawn of War 2 can go all kinds of ways. Fortunately, there's no RNG in accuracy like there is with guns for melee fights. So all ranged weapons, interesting stomp, frustration stomp. Have you ever let one of them out in real life? Maybe it was just flatulence. Maybe the war boss has such powerful intestines, because he's a big lad, he must eat a lot, that when he emits flatulence, he has to do that. I don't know. Normal guns on units out of cover only have an 80% chance of hitting, so it actually gives a really weird amount of RNG. So if you get a mirror shooter boy versus shooter boy, there can be a lot of variance, since there's only 80% chance to hit, not 100%. Fortunately, melee scraps, it is 100% chance to hit, but then you still get RNG because there's melee specials. But apparently Ovarmind got the advantage in specials there, but still lost, and that could be because, think about it, if your slugger boys, you have 6 of them in a line like this, and the enemy's horizontal, and you attack, your boys, your couple of lads at the front, are going to get hit by 6 models, whereas these guys at the back will distribute their damage amongst more. So then you, the line slugger boy, will lose your front 2 models sooner, and then you've got less DPS than the enemy, even if you've got the same HP, so you're going to get stomped. So just the positioning running into melee can change a melee fight. I know we're going on to some very in-depth tangent there, but look, it's an orc mirror. Melee fights are going to be important. Now, the war boss typically always wins the orc mirror, and that's because, well, the war boss himself is a great fighter, sure, but really because anytime there's a melee scrap, the war boss can just drop down ad boys or use your choppers on his boys, and his melee boys are always going to win the melee fight. So you just go Storm Boys with this typical build, and it's like, how does the enemy counter you? Even if they get Sluggers, which are more cost effective than Storm Boys at fighting other boys, even if they go double Sluggers, they're going to struggle to beat the Storm Boys because of the globals that the war boss gets. So, we'll see. I mean, Ovarmind maybe wanted to give the melee battle a go, but not anymore. After he lost his sluggers, he's decided, nah, fuck it, we'll just go looters, and we'll beat them at ranged, but we'll see. So, as it stands right now, Commander Knob not got a lot of XP, and honestly, like, tier 1 boys without their knobs, it's kind of like the perfect time to be using your K-knob to kill some of them fools. So I'm a little bit shocked, honestly, that he hasn't got more XP than he already has. Looks like a little bit of aiming what's that. Going to allow the sluggers to get into melee, but they don't want it because there is a war boss nearby. We've got the other shooters for packs now rotating to the fight. Here we go, we've got a bit of a blob fight, not a full blob fight. This looks pretty bad for Ovarmind. A nice special there from Ovarmind though on the Storm Boys. They probably want to be jumping out, they don't want to be in here right now. But okay, he's going to get the looters refocusing their fire. Managed to kill another 2 Storm Boys, so 4 Storm Boys goes down there. That's pretty huge. And we've got the boss pull for Pax's War Boss. I like this one as well. AoE, 20% HP buff. I mean, that alone is huge. But then you also get suppression resistance. And what that means, it's not immunity, so you still get suppressed. But it takes like an extra 1 or 2 seconds of looter fire to suppress you. And that's actually a big deal, because what it means is if you split your shooter boys, have one here, the looters are out of cover, right? So you move down with attack moves, so you're guaranteed to hit him as soon as you see him at the longest range. Whichever one he's focusing, you pull it back, and they won't get suppressed because of that extra 1 to 2 seconds. So you basically lose no damage. And then he turns to shoot them. Well, guess what you do? You pull them back and move this forward. You just keep repeating. And you can kill setup teams that aren't in cover so easily. Because the moment they drop that front model, now you just bring both of them forward. You're just going to kill the looters. So it's a really nice tool against a looter. But you want it anyway. Because look, he's now got 20% extra HP on all these. That's a huge buff, man, for an accessory war gear. Like, yeah, that's strong. Let's see if the K-Nob can land a good stun bomb. This is the whole blob. Stun bomb into looter suppression. Okay, he gets a couple of slugger models. These looters are very low HP though. They need to get out of there. Warbless has managed to get him without being suppressed, however, so he's causing problems tying them up. And I do not think these sluggers want this fight. Hell no. K-Nob, again, kind of messing up, shooting retreating units. He needs to be outputting his DPS against the shooters. And the K-Nob has to get out of there. K-Nob not getting enough value with his twin-linked custom shooter here, really. And that's a shame because that is a really good weapon. Same DPS as the Tech Marines Bolter, but it's better because, well, it's shorter range, but it has 100% fire on the move. So it's not objectively better. There is a trade-off, but yeah. In terms of killing things once you're in range, it is better. Because you won't miss if they're fleeing. So going to be a full gem bash here from our boy Pax. Now I might not get the node, not like it matters too much. Both players going to be going to tier 2 at a similar time. Let's see if anything's queued up because, well, I guess the gem bash's impact won't have come in yet. That'll manifest itself soon. Stormboy Nob queued up, makes sense. He's a very good fighter. And it gives them the stun when they land, which is very helpful. Nothing queued up for Ovarmind, at least in terms of tier 1 units. He could have something queued up behind the tech tier. Now typically you don't see the Death Dread, you typically see the War Truck because Truck Busters would counter a Death Dread quite hard. And if the enemy was to go for a squad of tank busters, you just follow up your truck busters with Storm Boys. And the truck busters are going to have a pretty bad time. This is also a really good upgrade in tier 2 in the mirror. The Bomber Boys, well, the improved rocket packs, it gives them the Bomber Boys ability and increases the jump range by 15. Not bad at all. So we're going to get a nice little bit of suppression here that actually put out a good amount of damage, suppressing 3 of the squad. Storm Boys will jump in. They've got Ard Boys using them and use your choppers. They need to focus the Slugger Boys and knock them over with their specials right now from the use your choppers. They get a couple of bits of knockback, but there's no Sluggers down here. The Sluggers are on the other side. Warbus is now in the melee. We've got a really powerful, high explosive shot there from the Commando Nob. And wow, they wipe that squad of shooters. Really nice win there for Ovarmind. What's going on in the bottom? Nothing, just AFKing. AFKing sluggers. I don't see any Tyranids here, just a lot of orcs. Way too many orcs. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I've never heard of a bug with shooters running into melee though, so I dare say it's probably that Pax fucked up his micro. Maybe the war boss was tying up the shooters the whole time. You guys can rewind and have a look. I don't have that privilege, unfortunately. I don't have that privilege. Because that's too hard to make in replay systems, apparently. And I say that, like, because, not because I don't believe it. I know that it is actually the case, because it's the case in so many games. I just don't know why that's the case. Why it's so hard to make replays that you can rewind and manipulate live in the game. So, I mean, there's still melee superiority for Pax, but yeah, I mean, he had that in the first place, right? And it didn't do him much good. Nice looter positioning there. Whoa, that would have been a wipe in the shooter boys for sure if these guys didn't get suppressed. Could get another high explosive shot on these shooters. That's going to be painful. Ah! Kills everything except the knob. Yeah, that's going to be an ad boys dropped on that shooter boy squad, because they're going to get really close to dying. Oh, 100%. If they did not have the ad boys, they would have been wiped. Wow. The nice thing about the Commando Knob shotgun here, we might see it. No, because he's running into melee. I was going to say, it's got a chance of knocking over models. And it has scatter on its shots as well. So, generally it just does more damage when it's closer, and it can actually hit more models if it's close range as well. But no knockback there, which is a little bit weird. Does it tell me the chance of the knockback? I think... Oh, it says right there, yeah, 30% chance to do weapon knockback. Wow, really? Jesus, I feel like he shot him way more than 4 times there and didn't get the knockback. I guess that was unlucky. Okay, so... we've got this Death Dread now. We got Tank Busters coming out for Ovarmind. Probably just going to keep the Death Gun. Put the Death Gun behind the Tank Busters. It's still tricky. Relying on one Tank Buster to kill a Death Dread is not ideal. But he could go for a War Truck for sure. I actually think that would be quite a nice idea. There's no Busters or anything like that for Pax. Obviously he's got Storm Boys, but Storm Boys have kind of got the work cut out for them right now. They got to tie up Busters, they got to tie up Looters, and then also be chasing down a truck. Like, come on, they can't do everything. And missed micros from Pax. Not realizing his Captain Sluggers were getting chopped up there. That's not going to go well for them. They do get out. And Overmind's just going to go tier 3. He had to go on truck and then tier 3. Big wah here. Quadruple buffs. Still got the Commander Knob with his high-powered shot. No doubt waiting for the Storm Boys. You got to wait a few seconds. Let them get rid of their damage resistance from flying. And yeah, just absolutely gibbed that Storm Boy Knob. Because this shotgun's so close range, it's actually doing some pretty good damage right now. Called the boys, though. That was a nice call the boys. A lot of free reinforce there on the shooters and the Storm Boys. What was that? 4 Storm Boys and 3 shooter boys, which is, oh man, mathematics. It's basically 200 requisition. What is it for Called the Boys? 250 rec, 200 red. So he got the Gen Bash. It only cost him maybe 50 rec. And yeah, it kept him on the map, got him the Gem Bash. Probably worth it. I like that Calder Boys. I like that. So we've got another melee fight here. This time Pax should win because he's using Ad Boys. Yeah. Even though these guys have the special advantage because they're level 3, so Paxes can't special them, but they can special Paxes. And now Pax is level 3 as well. And even in spite of that, yeah, Ad Boys will win it. And this is why the Warboss is so dominant usually in the mirror. When he can just take any single melee fight like that by just pressing a global, it's just hard, man. Use your choppers in the army versus armor fights, it's kind of dominant as well. I guess it's a good thing that Ovarmind isn't trying to beat him in the melee fight because, yeah, it's basically impossible. He's playing a different game, trying to outposition him. And it's good for him now because he does have range superiority since Pax has lost the second shooter. Just think, you know, if there was only 2 shooters on each side, but Pax has the boss pull, giving him 20% extra HP to his shooters are going to win. So tough to beat the Warboss in this matchup. So Pax is going tier 3 now as well. I don't really feel like the Death Dread's done a whole lot here. Now it's down bot with like no HP. A bit of an overextension there from the looters. I feel like he should be having the looters behind the shooters, layering them, so the Stormboys want to just jump the shooters and then they get suppressed. Obviously you can utilize the infiltration of the looters in that regard. So Ovarmind finishes his tier 3 tech first, but isn't actually going tier 3. Sorry, no, he isn't going tier 3. He already is tier 3, but not actually getting a tier 3 unit. Can't afford any right now. I guess he's bled a little bit. I don't know. Replacing gens, maybe? Yeah, they replaced one gen. I don't know where his money's gone. Must have bled a fair bit. It's going to be looted tanks for both the boys here. But you have to think that's going to favour Ovarmind since he's the one with the busters. Not to mention, K-Nob in tier 3 can get the rocket launcher. This Commander Nob is not knocking over the War Boss ever with a shotgun. I don't know what's going on. 30% chance? I don't think so. Have you ever... Like, he knocked over the Stormboys right there. Did you see that? He just knocked over them all. Wow, they just took so much fucking damage. Lost the Stormboy Nob so fast. Nice stomp. Will save the Stormboys potentially. I think they would have gone down. This was like a giant wah. All of them use wah. So massive speed and damage buffs to all these boys. But yeah, that Stormboy Nob, man. All the damage from the double shooters was focused on him. And the looters and the Commander Nob. Like, yikes. He got wrecked. Yeah, well, that shut Pax up, didn't it? Pushed him back to the base. So, yeah, we got the nice red looted tank here from Ovarmind. I like the skull scheme, actually. This is the problem. Ovarmind has got the tank busters, so I don't know what Pax is going to do. Also, right now, Pax is showing rear armor. I don't know why. Wow. Stormboys on the busters, but this is like I said, you just keep the looters behind. Oh my goodness. What is going on? This is just the passive damage from the... Oh no, that was the looted tank shot that did all that damage to the Stormboys. Makes sense. No power claw on the war boss, so he's not really going to do a whole lot. Not like he'd catch a tank. He'd have got one hit there and that's it. So, you know, that itself is not worth a power claw. And there's a lot of bleed. Stormboy's free power as well as 35 wreck for everyone you reinforce. So it's going to be stalling any tier 3 purchases. I'm sure he'd love the heavy armor and a power claw right now on his war boss, but not going to happen. Did manage to repair the Death Dread, which is just going to be guarding the bottom VP, which is fair enough. That is actually quite a good use of it, because the busters don't want to go down there, because then they won't be supporting their own tank in the tank duel. No Gretchen on the field here. I think some Gretchen could be quite useful, actually. I feel like these sluggers are going to be needed in the main fight. Let's get some Gretchen to repair the tanks instead. No other wargears for the Commander Nob either. I think Kaboom could be very useful. You just position your Commander Nob near your shooters, so you expect the Stormboys to jump over to get the looters, which now have a beamy death gun. And then basically you have Kaboom in retreat path, which is pretty scary to squads like Stormboys, or basically any boys. Gonna get wrecked by Kaboom in retreat. So yeah, you see here Ovarmind sluggers wanted to go for the decap, but obviously not able to with the Death Dread there. So looted tank is gonna rotate, and he feels safe up top because he's now got beamer looters and busters. And obviously he has range superiority with his double shooters. So let's see how this fares. Pax really needs to get this VP. He's rotating his looted tank elsewhere. Interesting. I guess because he doesn't see the enemy looted tank. Now he knows the enemy looted tank is down bottom, so his Death Dread's screwed. Death Dread obviously slower than a looted tank, so it can't escape. Then there's nothing there to save it. A little bit of a sloppy reaction though up top here from Ovarmind. Should have been using aiming what's that on the Slugger Boys, and then the Busters should have been attacking the tank earlier. But obviously Ovarmind was looking bottom. He secured the kill on the Death Tread. Warboss managed to sneak a cap mid. Man, this game's pretty damn even. Looking at the VPs. 50 or so VPs up for Ovarmind, but it's getting low, and obviously the VPs are not in his favour right now. Guys, have you seen this shotgun from the Commando Knob knock over the Warboss with his passive attacks? Like, obviously he knocked him over there, but that was with the ability. Have you seen him knock it over with the passive attacks yet? Because I haven't, and I'm feeling like it's a bug. If this has a 30% chance to knock over, the amount of times he has shot this guy with a shotgun and not knocked him over, it feels like there's something else going on here. That burst damage from the looted tank is terrifying. Somebody's gonna wipe. Oh my god. These guys are gonna get wrecked by the next looted tank shot. Oh, quite literally. So ballsy. Classic Orc Mirror, man. But the looted tank for Ovarmind is very low on HP right now. Slugger Boys for Ovarmind. Nope. Not for Ovarmind, for Pax. That was a really powerful beamy deathgun shot, jeez. One more of them and that might be a dead looted tank. What's going on down bot? Well, a dead Warboss. And I guess that's mostly it. Commandos do have to retreat out of there. Oh, these guys are going to get blasted by the K-Knob. Dude. K-Knob shotgun putting in work. I don't know what the looted tank's doing. Well, dying. That thing gets blown up. High powered shot, not doing that much there. Level 3 shooters. Bit too much HP now. And he's softening up. But we got some knobs on the field now. Interesting. Alright, it's a little bit problematic though, because the only AV now is this beamy looter, which shouldn't be too hard to force off. And then the looter tank can just have its way with the knobs. Still, can just save up for the rocket launcher on the commando squad. Sorry, Commando Knob. I'm saying Commando Squad because we're seeing the Commando Squad right here being very annoying, disrupting all these guys with the Love Dodaka. Really should have used the burner bomb first. I don't know what that was all about. You knock them over so they're in the damage over time. That's the whole point. So the looted tank, he can sort of poke at the knobs, but yeah, deterred because he knows of the beamy death gun, which has not been dealt with. So he needs to go elsewhere. Still no upgrades on the Warboss here. Nice little stomp though. It's going to be a lot of damage on those sluggers. Yeah, I really don't think they want this fight. It's a level 3 Warboss, so you can proc specials against them. Here we go. Here we go. K-Knob, honestly, bringing out the tools this game, really making himself valuable. Definitely feels like the K-Knob's been more influential in this fight than the Warboss. Oh, it shows the rear armor. Spins it around dead. Right in me crosshairs was that looted tank. Yeah. When the looted tank blows up, that's it. Pax throws in the towel. I mean, he is kind of screwed at this point. He's got no resources. He's got Commando Knobs versus Knobs. Commandos versus Knobs. God, this is confusing. Commando Squad, Commando Knob. These are different, Torpid. Commando Squad, Commando Knob. Knobs. Commandos. Commando Knob. Commando Knob. Commandos Knobs. Commando Knob. Commandos Knobs. Commando Knob. Commandos Knobs. Okay. Hope you did enjoy that one, folks. No Space Marines. Woohoo! I always enjoy No Space Marines. But that doesn't include Order Malleus, so if you've got good Order Malleus replays, get them sent in. But no, any good replays that you've got, 1v1 or 2v2, join my Discord using the link in the description below and submit them, and I will see whether or not I want to cast them. Just for now, no Space Marines, okay? For now. In another month or so, we'll start Space Marines again. Thank you for tuning in, folks. That's all from your boy STD today. Torpid signing out.